Welcome back. I'm here with the lovely Stephen Fry, who's just informed me not only is it Arthur Conan Doyle's birthday today, but it is
Richard Wagner.
Wagner, the composer, who I know
to the day.
I know nothing about Wagner, nothing at all, except I'm a bit frightened of him because didn't the Nazis like him a lot?
Yes, he didn't marry Natalie Wood, in case you were thinking of.
That's Robert Wagner.
Yeah. Just to be absolutely clear, he was a German composer born in Leipzig on 22nd of May, 1813, and he was a towering genius who cast a shadow over the entire 19th and 20th centuries in music and art. On the other hand, he was also, if I may say so, a howling he was a dreadful man.
Yeah.
And I went out to make a film about him because from an early age, I was obsessed by his music. It is so powerful, so remarkable. It gets parts of you that no other musician that I'd ever heard does. I mean, I love all kinds of music, serious classical music, or indeed, you know, rock music, pop music, jazz, all kinds. But there's something about Wagner that was so special. And yet, as I said earlier, with a Jewish mother, this man who specifically wrote an article, a notorious pamphlet called On Jewishness and Music, in which he attacked Jews quite horribly, specifically Mendelssohn, the composer, and Meyerbeer, who was the biggest composer of that period, though is now largely forgotten. And but it was very deep and visceral. It was how repulsive Jews were, and that was bad enough. To read this great genius writing such things. But what was worse was that 50 years after he died, Adolf Hitler came to power, and Hitler had already been many times to Bayreuth, the theatre that Wagner built, and was a friend of Wagner's descendants and family. And they called him the future Siegfried, the savior of Germany. And every Nuremberg rally, Hitler would go to Nuremberg and have the Meistersingers from Nuremberg, the master singers, one of Wagner's great operas, played. So I went and made this film, and it was painful because I had to confront a lot of the problems where if you love some art, some work, but you hate
the artist.
You know, it's like there is somewhere in Genesis. Is it? You know, it's the fruit. By their fruit shall you know them. You know, in other words, the tree may be ugly and gnarled, but if the fruit is sweet and delicious, you don't question it. But you do question it. And I saw this amazing woman called Anita Walter Wallfisch, Lasker Wallfisch, who had, as a little girl, been at Auschwitz, and she had this astonishing talent on the cello, so she played for the Kapelle, the sort of little band at Auschwitz, in the female version, which was conducted by a niece or cousin, I think, of Mahler, the composers. And that's what saved her from death, because the rest of her family, who weren't so talented, all perished. And she told me about this one occasion which just sent chills through me. She said, I was sitting picking lice from a friend's scalp, and the camp doctor walked in. You probably heard of him. His name was Josef Mengele.
Good Lord.
I said, God, I certainly have.
He's one of the most evil person who ever lived.
Exactly. Yeah. And I said, what did you see? He said, well, my bowels turned to water. I was just terrified because we all knew that people would disappear into surgery and they were never seen again, and or they were mutilated beyond belief, and there were screams come from his surgery. And I thought, oh God, he wants to find out what makes the brain of a musician or something. He's going to cut me open. And so I looked at him and trembled, and he pointed to my instrument, snapped his finger, and I thought, oh, thank God, he just wants me to play. So I said, what happened? She said, I followed him into his office, and he pointed me to the corner, and I played. And I said, do you remember what you played? She said, of course I remember. It was Träumerei, which is a piece by Schumann, which is transcendently beautiful. And I said, and when it finished, I said, he waved his hand away. And I said, did he thank you? And he said, oh, you sweet boy, you still don't really understand, do you? And I said, well, I'm just thinking, you know, an intelligent man and his girl plays beautiful music. He said, do you thank your telephone or your washing machine? We weren't human.
Good Lord.
Jews were not human. That is why they could do what they did to us. Because they really did not think we were human. And that was because they had had 10 years of Goebbels and Streicher and these films and this propaganda
but the kernel which you're talking about, coming from Wagner and the anti-Semitism from that period.
The glory of the Aryan race.
Yeah.
And this Untermenschen, this literally is German for subhumans, and that's what the Jews were Untermenschen or Affenmenschen, ape men. And if you do that for a generation, you just make some population feel that the other population are not human, they can do anything to them. That's what the Holocaust proves. Well, anyway, so...
So Wagner, anyway, Wagner,
Put that against a radiant piece of music that is about love and is anti-power and is anti-fascist. So that was a really. This has become a very heavy example of the Late Late Show. But I think the format can take it.
I think it's fine. Look, they can go away if they don't like it. I'm fine, but
we can talk about rosy nipples at another point.
I think rosy nipples have a place, but that place is tucked away for the evening. I think it's appropriate to talk about anything you want to talk about. It's very late at night, but what I find fascinating is the idea that you are not affected, your appreciation of the art is not affected. Because I was like, oh, I caramba, ooh. So he'd take his beautiful music and stick it, crikey, Tootsie Fruits.
I do. Every single time I do, until I hear it. And then as soon as I hear it, it takes me somewhere so beautiful, so profound, so extraordinary. He was a pygmy compared to the art he made, and that's often the case. And in the film, the Bayreuth Festival, the Festspielhaus, the festival playhouse that he founded to make his own music, his own theatre, a unique theatre with this. The orchestra is under the stage, and it is the only one that's allowed to break any safety laws, so that when the ring starts, the 4 nights of the Ring of the Nibelungen, this sequence of dramas begins, you're in complete blackness. There are no exit signs. There's no spillage of light from the orchestra because it's under the stage where it blends with the singers. And for this deep blackness, this note sounds out, and then the river, the Rhine, appears to glitter across the stage slowly, and it's as if the world is being born. And it's an amazing moment. And it's moments like that just shiver. They pass that test that Glenn Miller had, you know, that James Stewart said, you know, I want to hear that sound. That sound. Yeah. And he got it.
But do you think it's best not to know about the artists of the art that you like, the musicians and painters? Because there's been a couple of that have done some nice pictures as well. I mean, you have to be...
So true.
You know,
so true. Some, they've beaten their wives, they've betrayed, they've done all kinds of dreadful things. It's really, really hard to
I don't have, and this is in no way a reflection on having you here, but there's some people I won't have in the show because I'm in such awe of what they do. Like David Bowie has not been here and will not be here. No. Not that he's you know, can I be here? But you're like, can I be on your show? Right? but I don't want him to come here because I am such a fan. I'd hate him to be a
letdown.
I don't want that. And so...
in the same way, I would hate it if someone told me that Laurel and Hardy didn't get on and never spoke to each other.
I have good news.
As it happens, I know they did love each other. But if someone told me that, it would be horrible.
Stephen, it's always a joy talking to you. I'm afraid we're out of time.
Can't believe I had a most magnificent time too.
Yeah, I feel that we should have included the robot skeleton more, but...
I'm sorry we didn't. I'm sorry.
Quite a lot.
Stephen Fry, everyone, we'll be right back.
If you're watching Craig at home, you're missing half the fun. Consider this your formal invitation to laugh live in our studio audience at a taping of The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson. Please give us a call at 323-570-0059 or visit our website at TLLStickets.com.
What did we learn on the show tonight, Craig?
Well, we learned a lot about Wagner, didn't we? Listen, if anything happened tonight that upset you, I'm sorry that you get upset by people talking, but I still believe people talking and saying what they think and saying how they feel is a good idea. So, you'll be fine. Go to sleep.